Yeah, my name is Brett Yadley, and I represent Mr. David Strauss. He's an East Greenwich resident who resides in a neighborhood close to this proposed facility. After reviewing the applications and the pertinent regulations, my client objects to this application for the following reasons. First, DEM has not satisfied its obligation in reviewing the application. Under state law, DEM is obligated to address the citing concerns and surrounding community. Rhode Island General Laws 23-18.9 was revised in 2018 to add a higher standard, affording great weight to the detrimental impact placed on surrounding communities. Since the 2018 amendment of that statute, DEM has not promulgated standards for A, the placement of these types of facilities, B, when placement causes detrimental impact on the surrounding community, or C, standards that recognize and afford great weight to these concerns. And in fact, the record in this matter is absent consideration of these factors. So my client, along with others, as you've heard today and will hear as the hearing goes along, submit that this application cannot be considered until DEM has developed these standards and proven that it has considered them. Second, the applicant must receive review and approval from the State Planning Council, and here it has not. State law dictates that the SPC can approve a site, again, similar to the last issue, only after affording great weight to the detrimental impact of the surrounding community and after an evaluation of an alternative site. But the SPC has done neither here. In fact, the SPC has yet to go through a public comment and notice and comment process. And as such, DEM is precluded from considering this application further until the SPC process is completed. Any decision by DEM in the absence of that process prejudices my client, the residents of East Greenwich, as well as the residents of West Warwick. Importantly, and related to the SPC process, the applicant must receive approval from the local zoning and planning departments. In fact, a final determination from the municipality that the site conforms with all applicable land use and ordinance requirements is required before DEM can issue a decision on an application like this. Here, the applicant is merely at the starting point of the local permitting process. The applicant has yet to apply for preliminary plan or final plan approval from the West Warwick Planning Board. So DEM cannot consider granting a license here until a certificate of final determination from the town of West Warwick is submitted. Moving on, the documentation necessary to support this application is lacking significantly. The laws and regulations require that all supporting documentation be made available for public comment. The draft DEM conditional license says that certain documentation has yet to be produced. And that information includes, for instance, the West Warwick contingency plan, a pre-operating test of the system, and importantly, evidence of financial assurance. So I would submit that since this technology is untested and unproven, financial assurance should be vetted and insured up front. And all of those documents that I mentioned are critical to informing the public and satisfying public participation requirements. And finally, it's been said up to this point, and I'm sure repeated, that this technology is unproven. State law requires that this technology be vetted, and the regulations require that DEM review, approve all testing plans and protocols before issuing an approval. And it, again, as grounds for the fact that this technology is proven. The applicant cited to one facility in New Mexico, the Monarch facility. It's my understanding after looking at the Federal Register that the Monarch facility was recently denied approval by EPA for pyrolysis. So I'd like to wrap this up by saying that there's been talk that the applicant has brought equipment in and started some form of operations. If this is true, this agency's decision should not and cannot be swayed by pleas for tolerance or leniency. The applicant cannot be allowed to profit by impatiently skirting the system. I will be submitting written comments at the end of the public comment period. And again, thank you for the opportunity to speak.